Here, I found a colony of houses, all of which had strong light on the roof. Here I also saw a house with something in it. I enlarged it more and more and saw that it was probably a creature. I was surprised. Here I can see a bungalow or house, and a creature that stands upright. It must be cold on Mars, average -60 degrees Celsius. But the house is open, and the creature and the roof are brightly lit. There are also black dots on the edge of the house, and you can see a footprint at the bottom, left. The creature actually has a head that you can't see clearly, and something like bent arms, but then it's kind of associated with something down there, or with a living being life form and an organ, and the vertical part looks like a human torso. It has a longer head and bent arms. I zoomed in to see what exactly that is, and I can't believe it, but this looks like the bright light is here. These are bright lights that I see, and what is it? And there's another snake up there, looks like a light blue snake's head. Such elongated heads have already been found during excavations in Egypt. It's logical that the heads are getting longer, as there is low gravity on Mars, so the creatures and buildings are much bigger and longer. Maybe they were Martians, those who came to Earth. This is not far-fetched since Mars cooled millions of years earlier, before our Earth, and was able to develop life much earlier, where they produced their own energy and their own light. Phenomenal. And this head of the vertical figure, I call it the Martian. You could actually say that, and this head is full of light. And that's here on Mars, so it's on our doorstep. These are arms that are bent in such a way that one arm touches this creature with the eye, transmitting energy or light. It looks as if it were made of the same organic material, like the building or cave, and is made of the same material. And this other living being has an indefinable form and a kind of eye, which then, or the thing, here you can really see how there's kind of an impulse going up or down. The eye and the opening underneath it are placed in this way, as if it's two eyes. This is out of this world. And then this big creature with the eye. It is connected to the walls of the house and also to the roof. And you can see it here in the top right, how the creature with the eye is incredibly strong and bright, transmitting the light to the roof. And that's how the energy for the roof is transmitted. Who came up with such a thing? And what are these black holes? What can that be? These are pipes, channels, air conditioning shafts. They were built on the edge of the houses. These are passages. This is probably the air conditioning, but I think these are ducts that provide ventilation. That's where the dots on the buildings come from. They are ventilation shafts. Here in enlargement on the right, you can see very vaguely a vertical figure which looks elongated, so like a human being, and this figure also has arms stretched out to the left, and at the end of the arm there is a lot of energy to be seen. Then there is a band or tail connected and an energy docking station, and this energy flows over the arms to, yes, this triangular thing, and there you can see where the bright light, like a figure from a human being in the bright light, also elongated and, yes, looks like a human being, and that is of course very surprising. On all my trips to Mars, I used a screenshot program to capture my flights. If I find something, I'll have the videos to prove it. Whether this light also has heat or energy, I can't judge that. But in any case, you can see light here. The question arises whether cold light or warm light is produced through millions of years of evolution. On Mars, the creatures have adapted excellently to the circumstances of Mars. Just as Mars produces its natural glow, that's how the Martians learned how to produce light. Whether it is also warm light can only be determined when we've met them, but I would assume so, that it's warm light. Otherwise, they wouldn't be living outside under the open roof and the many air conditioning channels, which lead down into the caves. They wouldn't need them. It was only through artificial intelligence that it was now possible to enlarge and sharpen pixels again and again. They must be intelligent beings because at least up there, on the roof and everywhere, there are very clean lines. I can't believe NASA didn't see this. So that's incredible. And to the right of it you can see creatures. What exactly that is, you can't really see, but looks a bit like faces or human heads. These creatures have also connected and allow light or energy to flow to this great creature with the eye. So energy flows from each creature to the part with the eye. They get together and then bundle the energy. That's insane. And as I said, everyone there has. All creatures. A glow. And what I've seen is unbelievable. The evidence of extraterrestrial life. And that's on Mars. And what a way of life. Organic creatures that produce their own light and energy. Creatures that have similar characteristics to us humans but are composed differently. And lit up the background. And was surprised that the faces can be seen. And also the bodies look human. But they can also produce light. I magnified this with an artificial intelligence that can scale small images very high. And that's what I did. I've used it several times. This video and individual pictures. Scale up. From what I've seen in all my videos of the colonies, they always need two creatures. They don't have blood, at least that's what it looks like, but they do produce light or energy. Unbelievable what's going on here. I can't believe it. Why hasn't anyone seen this before? Here you can really see how there's kind of an impulse going up or down. Somehow, the Martians have a memory of human forms and create a torso and shape similar to humans. The eye looks just like a human eye, but it's done differently. It's unbelievable. That shapes look like human. Here you can see that the pupil is a duct or tube, and in which there are also creatures. Here you can see the eyebrows. That's not hair, but small apartments with creatures in them. In truth, everything exists from the material like the creatures. They are also made of light and organic material. Here on Earth there are very deep in the sea, organic fish which have luminescent cells and which also produce light themselves. That's what we have here on Earth as well. There's life on Mars. Sophisticated, intelligent life. And we got also the fireflies here on Earth. They can also create light here. So why not the Mars creatures can do also? I mean, NASA has all these pictures. You've scanned it. This scan from the orbiter is supposed to be from 2008. Is it to be kept secret? In everything I've seen, it must always be two creatures. They exchange energy with each other and pass them on to the buildings. Maybe there are two different creatures, in which each creature has a different chemical composition and by transferring causes a chemical reaction. And so light or energy is produced. When NASA received these scanned sections from the orbiter in 2008, the scan streaks were definitely with much better resolution than the ones we see on Google Mars. I found this colony years ago, but it is only now through artificial intelligence AI that it is possible to make videos and images and pixels very sharp and high. So I took a Mars video and had it extrapolated, and let's see what comes out of it. When I saw the creature, it was pure luck and an unbelievable surprise. Here you can find yet another breed, or a differently shaped creature. and you can see the light in the face. It looks like a bear. Out of curiosity, I edited this video with a KREATURES, these traces of energy or traces of light, which then, or the thing. Why hasn't this been seen before? Why did NASA not publish the existence of buildings on Mars? The orbiters have been flying around Mars since 2000 and scanned Mars. And then NASA stitched all the scanned sections together and Google made Google Mars out of it. My shot is on a strip that was scanned by NASA in 2008. That's crazy, that they are looking for life. Send a few rovers there and see if you can find at least a few microbes or some organic cells. I have found the proof that there is life on Mars. I don't have any microbes or single-celled organisms. No, I found intelligent creatures who can build their own houses. And then this kind of transitions here. But there is light everywhere. This is inconceivable. Here is light. Very strong. Everything is full of light. Nature has given rise to the firefly, a much more efficient source of light. It converts chemical energy into cold light with almost no loss. In the deep sea, on the other hand, 90% of living organisms have mastered this art of bioluminescence and benefit from it in different ways. On the one hand, when living organisms produce visible light through chemical reactions, this is always done according to the same principle. A fluorescent material, luciferase, is oxidized with the help of an enzyme, luciferase, producing energy in the form of light. On the other hand, each organism has developed its own variant of bioluminescence. Different types of luciferines and numerous variants of luciferase make light shine in all colors. The ability to bioluminescent has evolved several times in the course of evolution. From single-celled organisms to fish, there are light-producing species in all animal groups. Only later, in addition to some insects, marine organisms, bacteria, algae, jellyfish, snails, mussels, crabs, worms, squids, and fish could have used this ability to their advantage in different ways. Animals, on the other hand, control bioluminescence via nerve signals and either glow continuously or produce flashes of light that last between 0.1 and 10 seconds. This video is real. Absolute genuine. I have the coordinates. I only give them to scientific people or companies. The video is real. I can prove it. If you're interested, you can send me a mail. I can prove it.